Right. Welcome to our Meet the Team event. We are so pumped to have you here tonight to learn about the coaching opportunities. So the way that this is going to work tonight, we have a little presentation for you to go over some slides so that you can kind of get to know us better, a little bit of our stories, why we started just our health journeys, and then why we dove into coaching and really what it's done for our lives, but also kind of the fears and misconceptions that we had before we actually dove into the coaching opportunity, because a lot of us were challengers before we were coaches. So I'm curious, Nicole, are you a current challenger also? No. Yes? Yeah, she is. Ray's saying yes. Okay. I was just curious how familiar everybody is with Beachbody. So we're going to show you our slides and you're going to get to see our transformations, because I think it's helpful not just to hear us talk about kind of what this has done for our lives, but for you to visually see also. So if you can hang with me for a second, I'm going to screen share. And let's see here. All right. Okay, can somebody give me a thumbs up? Can you see my screen? Yes, awesome. Okay, so I am Dana. I am the founder of Team Empowered Elite. I have been a coach now for 7 years as of the end of this month, actually, which is really crazy. When I started my journey, I was invited by a friend from high school that I had played field hockey with. I kind of was interested, and then I ghosted her for about 4 months because I wasn't really sure exactly what she was inviting me to. But at the time, I was a newly single mom. I had left abuse to choose to raise my son on my own, and I was really kind of at rock bottom in my life, just physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. At the time, I was actually looking for opportunities to earn income from home. So I was looking at things like Pampered Chef and oils. I was working a job from home that I knew wasn't going to cut it long term, but I really wanted to be home with my son. And also because I had a background with fitness and being an athlete, I really, really wanted to get fit again. But a part of my story is I've overcome a near-death accident, and I've had 12 hip surgeries. So, kind of going through that had left me, like I said, at this rock bottom place where I really needed to work on myself. And I knew that. And I knew that if I joined this opportunity, it would give me the tools that I needed for fitness, for nutrition, to have the positive community. And when I learned about the coaching opportunity, it was very much so like a call like this. And I saw what others had done and what they had achieved and what they had built for their lives and how it made them feel. And I just wanted that. So I went all in. When I started coaching, I was definitely afraid of judgment. I was afraid of failure. I had no business experience. I was definitely one of those people that never really posted on social media. I was more of kind of like the scroll and stalk, like get on and watch what everybody else is doing, but never really share much. But when I really realized the potential of this opportunity, my fear shifted from like, what if I do, to what if I don't? And so I went all in. I have been a full-time coach now for over 6 years. This has changed every single aspect of who I am and our life, just the personal growth, the friendships, the travel opportunity, the fulfillment of helping others. And I just feel like this opportunity helps you become the best, most confident, happiest version of yourself. And then you just go share that happiness with other women that are looking for the same thing too. So that's a little about me. And now I'm going to toss it to Ashley.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley. I've been a coach for just over 2 years, active coach for 2 years. My story is probably a little bit different than a lot of people's. I started my journey at well over 300 pounds, and I had just lost my firstborn child, Oliver, to a congenital heart defect after a 6-month battle with him at Children's Hospital. So as you can imagine, my first child, and then you gain the weight of pregnancy, and then, you're living in a hospital and you get hospital food. So finally, after I crawled out of a deep depression, Dana and I actually met on a mom group. And oddly enough, we found out we were from the same city and like grew up in the same town, but like we didn't actually know each other. So we started a friendship, and she had been following my journey as I posted about my son. And I finally came to her once and I said, okay, I'm ready for a change. And I lost some weight and then found out we were pregnant with my rainbow baby, Violet, who is now 5. So after I had her, a little bit after that, I said, okay. She said, oh, well, I think you'd be a really great coach. And I'm like, well, girl, like, I'm still like 300 pounds. Like, who's going to talk to me? I need to prove to myself that I can do this, because I was a serial yo-yo dieter. Like, you name it, I probably did it. And nothing ever stuck. So it was very frustrating for me. So I committed to one of our 80-day programs, probably one of the hardest programs in Beachbody right now, and completed it start to finish, had a huge transformation, felt better than I ever had in my life, got off of my depression meds because I naturally just felt so good because of the food I was putting in my body and the friendships and the camaraderie, and just having a team of women who had my back the entire way was just life changing. And I said, okay, I did it. And Dana said, okay, now what? And I said, all right, fine, let's do this. So now, 2 years later, I am officially down over 120 pounds. I have a wonderful, happy, healthy baby girl. I have been the happiest in my life through my coaching career. And I have gained friendships that will last a lifetime. And most of these women I have only met twice, maybe once, maybe not at all. But they have just been my rock. And there have been bad days, there have been good days, on my son's angelversary, the date of his passing, on his birthday, we all get into the virtual gym together and we do a workout. And it's just a kind of community that you don't get anywhere else, or I haven't found one. But this can do more than just help you lose weight. It can help you find yourself again when you are drowning in grief. It can help you really find your happiest and truest self. And once you feel that, it almost feels selfish to keep it to yourself. So that's why I became a coach, because I want to share this with other women like me who are in the darkest places of their life, to show them that there is light and there is happiness and you can feel better about yourself. And there are people who actually care about you, who you may not even really know in real life. And that's it.
I love it. All right, Miss Kelly.
Hey guys. All right. So my story kind of goes like this. I started wanting nothing to do with coaching. I was actually really anti-coaching. I'm a registered nurse and a diabetes educator, and I think part of me felt as though I was a little above coaching until I actually experienced how this changed me when it came to the programs and products and everything. I started more selfish purposes of just me doing something positive for me. I felt like my whole life I was just doing a lot for my family and doing a lot for my patients, and my health just kind of took a back burner. And I needed something that was doable and accessible for me to just see results and to finally like feel good about me again. So I started doing the programs, lost a ton of weight, and naturally it became really fun sharing what I was doing that was finally making me feel so good about myself. And people saw a big change in my just everything. I was just happier, more energetic, and I just felt like I was a better mom and a better wife because I wasn't so just down all the time. So I finally said yes to coaching, and crazy enough, I've been doing these programs and everything. It'll be 6 years this June, so it's longest I've ever stuck to anything for my own health. I can tell you that much. But one of the biggest reasons that I was really hesitant on coaching and so against it was I had a real fear of sharing on social media. didn't even know what Instagram was, didn't even have an account at that point. Didn't really share a ton on Facebook, just really stalked everyone else's page. And I was really nervous about what other people would think about me from putting myself out there. And so I think that really held me back until at one point I just honestly said I had nothing to lose and I felt so good. I really, as Ashley mentioned, I felt like it was a disservice to not share about it because I started this from a friend sharing about it on social media. So she had the guts and she, shared about what was working for her. And because she did that, it then made me start to feel that same way. And I couldn't help but want to help others feel the same. And it honestly became like another form of my nursing role. And that's what I started to kind of feel. I was able to connect and reach more people than walked into my office every day. And now I could help them fitness, nutrition, diabetes. I could still do this on a different platform. And so obviously, I moved past the fear piece of it because I knew what I was doing. It was truly a belief that I knew what I was doing would help people. And it was my job to share about it. The community is amazing, as you're already going to see. It's helped my overall health dramatically. Like I said, confidence is completely different. And because of this, we've now started, a couple accountability groups. But one of the groups we've now, Maggie and I have kind of put together is a group of all type 1 women. And we have almost 160 women that just have type 1 diabetes that are doing these programs. And it's extremely rewarding. And I love every second of it.
I love it. All right, Ray.
I have all the feels just listening to these stories every single time, even though I've heard them multiple times. So I just need to start by saying that. My journey started by creeping Dana on social media for a very long time and literally taking notes in my notes part of my phone on some of the stuff she was doing and getting up early and trying it in my basement and trying to get myself into a pattern of doing regular exercise. I was an athlete my whole life. I really struggle with anxiety, diagnosed in this modern society as OCD. And I know that regular exercise is one of the best medicines for my mental health. And if I could just be consistent with it, I knew that's what I needed. So I continued creeping on her, tried a couple of what they call 3-day refresh, which is one of the programs within our network. Shake off those few too many beers months that would roll into my life, because that was definitely also a part of my journey. And then I literally remember I was on complete overload, working full time, finishing my master's degree, being a dog mom, a wife, a homeowner, you name it, doing all the things. And I literally sent Dina a message, I remember, on a Sunday night, and I was like, now I'm going to I don't know what the all-in thing is, but I need it. I need the all-in right now. And I just dove in headfirst to my journey, headfirst. I was totally freaked out by social media, 1,000%. Kelly could take the words out of my mouth. I was even less than a creeper. I was afraid of social media. And I just trusted in the private accountability groups. And because of my fear of social media and the way I signed up to get a discount membership, I decided, maybe if I just invite one friend, it'll help me just chill out about my fear. And it helped. It worked. Actually, that friend has been my friend since the 6th grade, and she is still doing these programs with me 4 years later. I started my first program 4 years ago. And then it just kind of slowly, I'm a self-proclaimed turtle in the coaching realm, but really I've always been here. I've always shown up in the coaching realm. And I've realized in the past year or so that really what has been my secret sauce of consistency is I have been a coach this entire time. Even in the small capacity that I coach, the reality is I am a coach, and it's the secret sauce of what makes me show up every damn day through literally life-threatening illness, I've had in these past 4 years. I had a miracle baby with an emergency C-section. And you know what, guys? I showed up every day through it all, because I knew I had those friends that I had invited with me, and they were on that journey with me. And I was showing up for me and them, and to show them, like, hey, if I can keep going through even the muddiest of times in life, we can do it together. Like, let's do this thing. And now look at me. Go check out my Instagram page. I was new to Instagram like 3 years ago. I didn't even know that was like a thing. And go check it out. Like, I'm like over the social media scaredy cat Ray I was. I've grown in so many ways. Dana knows how much I've grown. I've like completely taken control of my life in a whole different way. I used to be a full-time clinician. I've even made complete life changes of being a part-time clinician, because I realized that this opportunity of serving people in a wellness space is almost similar to what Kelly was saying about being an RN. It's almost more than I can do as a healthcare provider for people, to really show them the steps to take control of your life, your health, and your future. So that's why I'm here, and I will continue to be here and share this amazing opportunity.
I love it. And I love that you tossed in there the part about showing up for other people when your life is hard, because this definitely has been the glue for me through a lot of hardship too. All right, Maggie.
All right. Hey guys, I'll talk just pretty briefly. So like Kelly mentioned, I'm also a type 1 diabetic. I've had type 1 diabetes for, it'll be 30 years in May. And for many of those years, I did not take very good care of myself for many, many reasons. But unfortunately, I had already experienced some diabetic complications. I've had to have a lot of eye surgeries. My vision is great and stable today. But I knew when I had my daughter that I wanted to live a long life, and I wanted to be as complication free as I possibly could. Something that comes along with diabetes is, and I think a lot, not just diabetes, but you know, if you don't take care of your health, you can feel guilty about that. And the number one thing that I do that helps me with my guilt and my anxiety about having type 1 diabetes and wanting to live a long life is doing this, is being a coach, being an example. You know, I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But when I get up and show up for myself every single day, then no matter how the day went, at least I know no matter what happens, I've tried my best to be my best, healthiest self. And this coaching opportunity has given me way more that I ever thought was possible. I mean, just that alone is priceless to me. The fact that I get to help other people do this, the fact that, you know, I get to go on trips, the fact that I get to make these friendships, the fact that I get paid, you know, and I'm sure someone will say the disclaimer that has it memorized, because I don't have it memorized yet. But I mean, that's all bonus, because, you know, my health is just what this has given for me. It has just been priceless. And one thing that I just want to go over really quick, I feel like I always talk about this, but every time I talk about it, it just blows my mind. So I got an email recently, last chance, 5 weeks of unlimited classes for $149. I don't know if you guys can see that, but what we have to offer, and if you don't know anything about price yet, you'll learn it really quickly, and you'll soon learn the value in what we have to offer. For $160, the fact that you can get an entire year of gym membership, you can get other people to work out with through our virtual gyms, you can get, you know, our accountability groups that are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With COVID, you don't have to you know, leave your house and go to a gym and put on a mask and waste time and energy. I mean, what we have to offer is just so incredibly valuable. And I could just scream about it from the rooftops. and just never stop all day, because I seriously cannot believe what we get for the money. And I just wanted to talk about that because I think a lot of times people think, oh, when I become a coach, I'm going to have to sell things. Well, when you become a coach, people are, hopefully going to be watching you and asking you what you're doing. And when you can talk about the value and what you have to offer versus maybe what they're paying at the gym, then, you're really going to change some lives. And that's what we're all here for.
Yeah, absolutely. Miss Savanna.
Can you hear me?
Nope.
No.
A little.
Now we can.
Oh, now you can?
Kind of.
How about now? Better?
A little bit better.
No.
No? I'll try to be loud. I'm not very good at being loud, though. First of all, time to update my slide because I'm pretty sure I've lost.
You've definitely lost way more weight since that slide. Yes.
I've lost an additional like 35 pounds. I just hit the 70-pound loss mark since I started on April 27th.
Phenomenal in the last year. Insane.
I have hit a lot of goals, personal goals and business goals, but the personal goals have happened because I said yes to coaching. Lots of things that I could never have imagined myself hitting at all. But the truth of the matter is that none of it would have happened if I didn't say yes to coaching. So I started in April as a discount coach. I had no interest in coaching. I was terrified what people would think of me. I am a preschool daycare teacher, so I have a lot of parents on my social media, and that freaked me out. Nobody wanted to see me parading around in a sports bra on my social media. And then I had a lot of people tell me not to get involved in a pyramid scheme or a MLM scheme. But the only thing I'm going to say about that is that pyramid schemes are illegal, so that is not what this is. When I finally said yes to coaching, it was June of the same year when I was all in. I had already lost like almost 30 pounds in the first 2 months. I am a firm believer that fast is fun, and I like to do everything full blast all the time. Doesn't have to be the case for you, but that's just the way I like to do things. And this was just another thing for me to prove to myself that I could do. And I needed that. I needed to feel successful in something. It was 2 months into a pandemic. I was out of work. I was home with my kids. I had one kindergartner who was in remote learning. And I was in the throes of some pretty deep, dark depression. And I knew I had to make a change. And I knew that that change wasn't just going to happen on my own accord because I had tried. And coaching brought a whole new level of accountability that I really needed. And to this day, it may sound selfish, but to this day, that is one of my main driving forces behind coaching, is that I know that all of my girls are going to wake up in the morning and look for my story because my schedule allows me to work out at 4:30 in the morning. So I know that my girls are going to wake up, and if they don't see that I worked out, they're going to say, oh, well, if Savanna didn't do it, then I don't have to. And I can't have that because they signed up because they trust in me. So really just having that accountability, proving to myself that I could do this, has all prospered into something that I could never have imagined. And I am looking forward now to a day in the very near future that I get to quit my job. So that's pretty much it.
And then you won't have to work out at 4:30 in the morning anymore.
True. Though I probably still will, because habits die hard and it's a habit now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so you might be wondering, how do we actually earn income as coaches? I don't know what just happened. Just heard noise. I want to just make sure we cover our disclaimer. Team Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income with the coaching opportunity. Each coach's income depends on their own efforts, diligence, and skill. Meaning, if you work for it, you will grow a business, right? But this is definitely a business. It is not, something where you get rich quick overnight. It takes time. It takes dedication. It takes consistency. It takes really leaning into your own journey and staying the course with that and sharing it with others, and really being committed to helping and serving other people. So the first way we earn income as coaches is we make 25% commission on any orders. So if people sign up with Beachbody On Demand, Shakeology, any of the number of programs or products that we offer, you make a commission. So that really is the basics of how you're earning income as a brand new coach. We like to throw just an example of a benchmark out there for you, because I know sometimes when people are thinking about the coaching opportunity, you might look at someone like me that's been around for 7 years, or Kelly, and you might think like, I can't do what they do, or I can't work as much as they work, or I could possibly never do what they're doing. And the reality is that we always suggest there is no quotas, there are no benchmarks, you don't get the boot from the opportunity if you don't hit certain numbers. There's nothing like that, right? This is, you design coaching to be what you desire it to be for you. We just give you guidelines on, if you desire to build a successful business, what you should be aiming for. So we always suggest helping 3 to 5 people a month with a challenge pack, which is super doable, super possible. If you are sharing your journey and being consistent, you absolutely are able to find those people every single month that are inspired and that need your help, right? There are so many people out there that need this for so many reasons. We make weekly team cycle bonus. So that is kind of what you would call residual income. So that is the income that you grow as you develop a base of loyal customers and coaches. So that is essentially income that you are making every single week from the people that you are helping. And it's income that you make that has nothing to do with commissions. So for me personally, at this point in my business, about 80% of my income is residual. But this is why it doesn't happen overnight, right? It takes time. It takes you consistently serving and helping other people to grow that. And then as you grow in ranks in the company, you also have the opportunity to earn quarterly bonuses, which are pretty significant quarterly bonuses depending on the ranks you are at. And that is also still dependent on you helping other people. It is dependent on you helping your own coaches. And then we have what is called the matching bonus. So that is income that Beachbody rewards us for helping our coaches be successful. So if you are really looking to grow a business, like I have, you want to be sharing the opportunity, you want to be helping other people learn how to do what we're doing, Beachbody rewards us for that. And what I love about our whole income structure is that it is, in every single way you look at it, it is designed that you cannot be successful if you are not willing to help and serve other people. It doesn't work. So the heart for helping others and wanting to make that positive impact is really kind of at the core of our income opportunity. But the beautiful thing about it is that you decide. This can be for you something that you work a little bit just to pay for your own products. It can be something where you potentially want to, pay off debt, or you want to save for a family vacation, or there are specific things that you would like that to provide for, or you can go all in like I did and build something beautiful that just completely changes the trajectory of your life. It is totally up to you to decide what coaching could be for you and for your life. And Kelly is going to talk to us a little bit about travel.
My favorite. Who doesn't want to travel right now, right? I'm like, right now, I need this more than anything. I'm just going to feel it and feel that we're out there in the sun somewhere. All right, guys. So nursing doesn't give you the opportunity to travel unless you're a travel nurse. And for me and my family, we love to travel. My goal is to just share travel opportunities with my children as much as I can. And this, I didn't realize how much travel was going to come from this opportunity in a lot of different ways. First off, you can earn what's called Success Club trips. So as Dana mentioned before, how we kind of hit those benchmarks of saying, like, if you can even help 3, to 5 people each month, even a baseline of 3, get started, then that means you hit Success Club. Once you hit Success Club, the more you do that each month throughout the year, you are earning the chance to, number one, get invited to these yearly Success Club trips, and you're also earning money that will go towards paying for these Success Club trips. And the trips are incredible. Since I've been a coach, I've been invited to the Dominican twice. I've been invited to Mexico twice. We've been on one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, and my son spent his 8th birthday, in the Bahamas, actually no, in Haiti or Bahamas together. We were supposed to be in Mexico this upcoming April, but obviously that changed. So, but we will be going, I think, in the fall. So you get these amazing opportunities to travel. And when we say like wine and dine, all foods included, drinks included, hotels included, activities included, massage included, everything. And they are really a once in a lifetime trip. And so I feel really fortunate that for me, my husband is the one that works, 24/7. But I feel as though I'm able to give this to my family every year. And it's something that I've earned, that I look forward to going with this community, with my coaches, and really just have family time, exploring a different part of the world. So those are definitely something anyone could do if they really just do the things. Coach Summit is our annual coaching event. Basically, about 25,000 coaches invade a city, and we have an absolute blast. This July, we're supposed to be going to St. Louis. Who knows what will be going on? I'm going like this. But what happens there is, number one, it's an amazing time for us to, number one, bond as a team. Quite often, it's the first time any of us have met. So it's a really fun time for people to meet each other, really have 3 to 4 days of time that we just, become one. Really, we learn from the top, coaches on how they're growing their businesses. We're in different, education kind of conferences throughout the day. We do workouts with the top trainers. We end one of the final days working out with all of Beachbody's trainers, and as the sun's rising at 6 a.m. in the morning in the streets of St. Louis or Indy, wherever we are. And it sounds super random and weird, but it is such a crazy high and an incredible experience that I can't even really put into words unless you're there. But when you see an 80-year-old in a tutu doing workouts next to you, and then you see a 20-something doing something, and it's as far as you can see people working out as the sun's coming up, it's just an incredible moment. You also, thankfully, we get to do some team retreats. Since I've been coaching, I've gone to Florida twice for these retreats, and it's a smaller group of us and our specific team. It's usually some of the top leaders that are invited, and it's time for us just to learn, to have, whether it's some more amazing speakers come together and kind of brainstorm, learn kind of what we envision for this upcoming year, where do we want to grow our businesses, what do we want to do, and then just honestly have some fun. You also do have 2 invites that you can get based upon where you are rank-wise, and one of them is called the New Leadership Conference, and then one is called the Leadership Conference. So a couple of years ago, I was invited to the New Leadership, which happened to be in LA, and we went to corporate. So they put us up in an amazing hotel in LA, got to go to corporate, got to see where Shaco's made, all those good things, work out with trainers, and it's a more intimate conference that you really learn. Like, it's really the place you want to be when you want to move your business, and you learn a ton there. So I encourage everyone to get to that point. And then from there, there's a next step of the leadership conference, which has been in like Arizona or different places. So definitely travel is something that would be in your future if you decide to really, move and grow with your business.
Yep. All right, we are going to talk about team training. Was anyone wanting to take this topic? I don't think I checked our text before the call started. Otherwise, I'm just going to run with it. So a lot of times when coaches come into our team, they might feel kind of nervous of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to post on social media. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't want to be salesy. You know, like there's just so many things to learn. I just want to reassure you, first of all, that none of us have a college degree in network marketing, right? There is no such thing. Network marketing is something where you really learn as you go. You learn so much by kind of taking action and jumping in and failing forward and just having fun with it and learning as you go. So we have a team page where we have weekly team calls. So typically every Wednesday night, not this week, obviously. We have team calls where we go over various topics. So for the whole month of January, we've been going over all of the basics that you need to build your business on inviting, following up, overcoming objections, having conversations, you know, how to best suggest what people need for their goals, right? We talk about all of those things on team calls. So you have the opportunity to learn all of the basics from all of the coaches that have had success. In our team page, you can post at any point in time for support. We share a lot of resources in there, you know, meal plans for our communities, weekly emails, all types of stuff. Like you literally have hands-on everything that you could possibly need to be successful if you're willing to learn it and take action. We have corporate mentoring calls that are led by top coaches in the network that are sharing their top tips for success every Monday. And then we have mentorships and training. So we have a new coach training designed to walk you through all of the first steps of what to do as a coach, you know, how to share on social media, how to connect with the people that you want to be helping, all of that awesome stuff. And then Kelly and I, every single Thursday, we offer weekly mentoring calls for business calls. So either at 11 a.m. or 8 p.m. on Thursdays, we're on there for an hour to answer any questions and go over anything in your business. It could be anything. It could be conversations. It could be how you're earning income. It could be how to break down a goal that you want to get to, or just for some, you know, kind of motivation and someone to kind of help you work through something that you're struggling with, because we all hit roadblocks in life and business. So you really never are alone in this opportunity. And as you've heard pretty much all of us say tonight, that yes, the women in our coach, you know, our coach team are women that we technically work with, but we are such a tight knit community that we're just so involved in each other's lives. And it's like the sisterhood that forever has your back, no matter what it is you're going through in life. And you have that hype squad that's always cheering you on and celebrating you and wanting to see you win, which I think is just so incredible. Like there's none of that comparing and cattiness. Everyone is always more than willing to share the things that are helping them to help you. And that's just an awesome thing to be a part of. So we want to just close this out by encouraging you to really think about, I know when I first was brought into this opportunity, one of my mentors who has built a phenomenally successful business really asked me what my ideal life looked like and what my vision was for my future. And I had never, ever been asked a question like that before, ever. Like I had never had someone say, what do you want for your life? Like, how do you want to spend your days? Like, what do you want to do with your family? Like, what makes you happy? Who do you want to be? What do you want to feel like? Like, I never thought about those things until I stepped into coaching. And now it's just a yearly thing that we think about where we're going, what we want our lives to look like, what we're moving towards, what matters most to us, where we like want to spend our time and invest our energy, and how the coaching opportunity can help us bring those goals and dreams to life. So hopefully from hearing from us tonight, this has kind of cleared up some of the fears or misconceptions you maybe have had and has inspired you with hearing our stories. But I'm going to go ahead and close this. And if you have questions, we would love to hear from you. So if you're too shy to talk, that's fine. You can type it in the comments. And if you want to, you can just unmute, and we're happy to answer any questions that you guys have about coaching. Don't all jump at once. Molly, hey girl, I saw you got on. No questions? Really?
So this is Courtney.
Hey girl.
So I was just curious in regards to the income,
Uh-huh.
the 25%. So let's say that I become a coach and then have someone become a coach that's beneath me.
Yep.
How does that income then like come back? Like, do I earn income off of other coaches that are under me, if you will?
That accrues to your volume. So that's essentially what builds the breakdown of residual income.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
not
So that's
necessarily,
more
you're not
towards like the weekly.
correctly. So you're not making like say, okay, let's just give a scenario. So you sign up, let's say you sign up, your cousin signs up, right? And then your cousin signs up her friend from work. You don't make a direct commission off that order, but it does accrue to the volume in your account, which helps accrue weekly residual income. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That
Cool.
makes sense.
Yes.
Good question. I don't think I've ever had that question before. I like your style.
Yay.
Anybody else? Any fears that you're struggling with that you're like, I think I'd like to try coaching, but I'm really struggling moving past XYZ? Because we've all been there. So we'd love to talk about that also.
Right now for me, this is Courtney again, sorry. I think right now for me, what's holding me back is just like the fear of the unknown, if you will, like the like I don't know how I'm gonna do. Will I fail? Like will it not be as successful as I picture it in my mind to be?
Yeah. Who wants to
I can
take
take that one. I had the same fear, and mine also stemmed from like, oh my gosh, also like all of these eyes are watching me, and I'm not a woman who is, who is comfortable with being like in my sports bra, and like, yeah, all right. And now here I am, and I'm that woman, curves and all, and I don't even care because I'm like, hey, like I've come so far. But what I think whenever I get into that type of feeling is that regardless, it's a win-win, right? So worst case scenario, you better your own life, your own health, right? Because what coaching stems from is you continuing on your journey and being consistent. So literally worst case scenario is that you feel better and you're healthier. Worst case.
Yeah.
Best case scenario.
True.
You make a shit ton of money and you get both, right? So
I would also
to be frank,
I would add to this too that we focus a lot as coaches on personal development. So we read a lot of books that are about overcoming limiting beliefs and developing confidence and building your habits. And I think when it comes to being quote successful, success looks different for everyone. It depends what success means to you. Does it mean you have a healthy family? Does it mean you have a lot of money in the bank? Does it mean you're debt free? Like what does success mean to you specifically personally? And then we work a lot on not just mindset, but breaking down the things that you would want to do to get there. And I personally think it comes down to a decision. Like for me, when I started as a new single mom, like you better believe I was terrified to fail. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not gonna fail. Like I'm gonna decide to show up as long as it takes for this to become my reality. And that was a decision to make. So it's kind of the willingness and the commitment of like, I'll figure this out along the way. So.
Right. I love that.
Courtney.
Yeah, and I just want to second Dana's comment about personal development because I'm actually surprised this entire call got to this point without talking about it. That's a huge part of my personal journey with being introduced to it. For me, I will say I rolled my eyes at that type of content for a very long time. In the 90s, it was labeled self-help. Now in 2020s, we call it personal development, which makes it sound a little sexier. But, I really rolled my eyes at it. I was like, people read this crap. Well, guess what? I'd be reading that crap and that crap be changing my brain every day. I read it and listen to it. And the fact that I have built the consistency of it being a part of my life to digest that material every damn day it's why I'm still here. It's why, literally, like, alive. I mean, I was very, very sick, and that content alone and part of my journey is why I'm here. So here's to personal development.
And also to that too, as we go through the personal development, you start to feel better about yourself. And it's all about your energy. Like, people are going to be attracted to that energy that's going to bring them in. And as long as you're coming from like a truthful space in your heart of wanting to help people and wanting to show them what's possible, kind of like what Dana said, like, it depends on what success is to you. Like, success to me is seeing two of my challengers crush it on programs and finish one start to finish and see their transformations, be like, holy crap, I did that. Like, I don't really care what's in the bank, but like seeing these women just glow and just find happiness, and even amidst all the chaos this year, has been so rewarding that that's also a gift too. So I think you kind of have to look at it from all different facets too.
I think there's a lot of, I always like to compare it, like, fear is like standing on like the ledge of like a mountain that you're about to like fall off the cliff. And that once you just take the leap and like learn, it's like half the things that you're scared of aren't really existent, and half the things you worry about aren't really there. It's just worries. But I think on the flip side, there are a lot of benefits and things that will add to your life, and ways that it will increase. When you increase your health and your happiness and your confidence and your energy levels and your mindset, that ripples into every single aspect of your life. It's not just for building a business. It changes your relationships and your parenting and your friendships and how you handle hard situations. Like, it just changes you as a person. And I think as much as there are fears of the unknown, there are things that like you never know what a blessing it could be until you actually take the leap and try it.
I wanted to say one thing too about that is that, when you first start a workout program, you have the same thoughts that go through your head. Like, am I going to be successful? Am I going to quit on myself this time? Am I really going to do it? And Beachbody provides you with the calendar, so you know exactly what to do when. And this is kind of like what our this coach team does for you, is it provides you that roadmap of like, okay, where do I start? Who do I go to for questions? Because anytime you start anything new, whether it be like a new job or a new school or a new relationship, like, there's always that fear and that anxiety. But we provide a roadmap for you, and we're all here for you.
We have a safety net if you fall. All right. Any other questions? We don't want to keep you too late. Thank you for your questions, Courtney. Hopefully that helped.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, same from many, many years ago. Where in the world do y'all find all these people? I have like 2 friends, let's be honest. So, how are you finding like 3 to 5 people a month to, encourage them to join and build relationships with? Obviously, I get that point. Like, you have to build relationships with people first, but
yeah,
I don't know anybody.
Well,
I felt the same way too. And Kelly, I'll let you go after this. I live in a super small town, and I was a single mom. I think I had about 400 friends on Facebook. I think I have almost 5K now on Facebook, but I built my business by networking with moms, like talking to moms that I met in mom groups, in single mom groups. And now on Instagram, it's very different, because the kind of upswing of Instagram to Facebook is that you have the ability to use hashtags, which specifically connect you to certain women. So like, you might hashtag things that are about mental health or anxiety, right? I do, because I've struggled with anxiety my whole life. Or I would talk about thyroid issues, because that's something I go through. So you're connecting with women that are like you. I connect with a lot of single moms. And there are ways for you to you're adding a lot of value on social media, right? It's about adding value to share and help the women that you're looking to connect with. So you're always connecting and conversating with new people. But more specifically, like we teach you in our training kind of how to figure out what your brand is, who you're going to talk to. Like, are you talking to busy working moms that feel burnt out and they have no time for themselves, right? And then you're speaking to those things. And then you're connecting with the people that connect with you, and you're also going out and seeking to make connections. But we personally on our team don't teach you to cold message people or to spam people's inboxes with like weird messages. We really teach you how to build a following of a community of women that are connecting with you, and then you are connecting with them back. So
part of the like what we have is what we call our BAT tracker, our business activity tracker, is actually just literally tells you day by day, like what to do, especially as you're newly starting. But like people do it that have been coaching forever. And some of it is like adding a certain amount of people to your network, each day, inviting to a certain amount of people, like so on and so forth, so that you're constantly building. Because like on Facebook, when I first started, like I said, I didn't have Instagram. So I had Facebook, and all those people were people I knew. So it was actually really scary, is what we call our warm market, because I was more invested with them because I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to say something like mean about this? Or like that's the nervous factor of why I didn't want to share on social media. And truth be told, most people out there, if you're sharing something that you're really passionate about and something that's really helped you and they can see that in you, no one's going to be like mean about it. If they are, they're just like, they just should totally be dropped anyway because they're not part of your life. But it's no one faults you for that. And I think when I started really seeing things change for me on Instagram, because I don't have to connect with people that I know. Like, I love the fact that I'm just meeting all these new people that I search hashtags that make up me, hashtag registered nurse, hashtag type 1 diabetes, hashtag, wine lover, hashtag, the things that make up me. And that's what I'm sharing about. And I think what's really important is that you're present, showing up all the time, all of the things of you, not just Beachbody. Like I doing reels. You have all these people that are connecting with you on reels. I could hashtag something and then go look for, 10 minutes as I'm laying in bed and see all the people that might look like kind of people that I might like kind of my deal. And maybe I shoot them a friend request or like some of their stuff. Like we start that back and forth. But it takes a little bit in the beginning. It's not like you're going to go from having like 100 people on Instagram to then like 10,000 followers, but it's that consistency and not stopping that you're going to find a lot of people. But you just got to show up, and you got to be you, and you got to talk to people behind the scenes and, add value and make people want to come to your page. Be silly, have fun, I don't know, just figure out what
make reels about drinking wine like Kelly.
What?
I said make reels about drinking wine like Kelly.
Yeah, like legit. I talk about drinking wine all the time. Like people actually message me saying, how do you lose weight? We see you drinking wine all the time. That's just a thing that's me. I'm not someone that's not going to do that, so like those are the things. You just got to be you so that all the other yous that are looking for this reach out to you. But it's really, showing up, as Rachel said, like even when it's hard, show that. Like even when it's, good days, bad days, show it, but just showing up in a lot of different ways and being willing to get uncomfortable, be willing to be uncomfortable because, it's part of this journey, but it also helps you grow when you get uncomfortable in that process.
And also too, one of my favorite personal development gurus, Trent Shelton, I was reading one of his books and he flat out said, "You are not special." And I was like, what? I thought I was reading a personal development book. I am special. I've been working on my I am statements. But what he meant by that, which I thought really resonates with our business, is that like there is always another person who has been through something that you have been through. Like your situation is not unique. For me, it's like, I was burned by a pressure cooker and had 30% of my body burned. I've lost a child. People have had that happen. And when you can connect genuinely with people who have had similar experiences, who are looking for a turnaround, or even just to chat with, like you literally just have a conversation, and there doesn't even have to be any like Beachbody salesy anything behind it. You can just be like, oh my gosh, you know, like I told this one woman, I'm like, oh my gosh, like your skin grafting was great. Like, but like she totally appreciated it. Or like this woman who lost her husband, I said, oh my gosh, like I'm thinking of you, it's your first Christmas without your husband, your kids look great. And she said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for reaching out. Like, and her and I have honestly been talking for like 2 months, and I haven't even mentioned Beachbody. She's mentioned it to me, but I haven't brought it up. And we've just been talking, and you just kind of connect because you have something similar. So you're not special.
Yeah, and I would say too, when you're a newer coach, you have what we call kind of your warm market. So it's like the people that you are already friends with, the people that already kind of know you, like you, trust you. It's like Ray is a good example. Ray and I were synchronized swim teammates as kids, right? Like a lot of people that might sign up with you when you are a newer coach are people that already know you, like people you went to high school with, you know, friends that your kids go to, like moms from, you know, school that the kid, oh my God, I can't even find the words. Moms of kids that your kids go to school with. There we go. Like people you already kind of know, right? The people that are already within your network. And as you grow and you start to make more connections, you really never run out of people to find, because trust me, there are thousands of people out there that are waiting for someone like you to show up in their life to help them, because they need that guidance. So did that answer your question?
It did. Absolutely. It did. To piggyback off that, like, maybe I have trust. I block everybody that tries to add me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't want you seeing my kids. You know, and things like that. So maybe that's something that I need to get over and be like, maybe I shouldn't be blocking all these people.
Yeah.
So,
You could
yeah,
also
thanks,
come
ladies.
up with a separate profile.
Yeah, you can always,
Yeah.
when I was a new coach, I had my page set as private, and I opted to choose which post that I made public because I ended up going through a custody battle. So you can choose to be more private if you would like to be, but I would say if you're going to have an account on Instagram, you want it to be public, because people can't find you if you're not. And it's going to be hard for you to really build a following. But with that said, you do have the ability to go through your followers and block people. Like I do that on the regular when I'm networking with people, and I'm like, this creepy dude needs to go, and I just hit the block button. So like you have an ability to control that. And if you don't want to share your kids, you don't have to. It's really up to you and your comfort level. But I think that's kind of a fear that a lot of us are very like private about personal lives, and when you become a coach, you kind of start to share those personal things. So it's definitely something you kind of have to grow into.
Just post what you're comfortable with. You know what I mean? It's not like we're posted naked pics of our kids, things like that, you know, like just post what you're comfortable with. Like I would post it on Facebook, you know, things I'm okay with posting my children, and my kids have actually become part of like my story. Like it's just me. And so, you know, they're in my reels, some of them, like they're just funny, you know, my daughters and I kind of, she's like my buddy, you know, so like I think it's fun and how you do it, but just share what you're comfortable with, and maybe the things that you don't want other people to see, like make your own private account for your family, you know, that's private, and then keep what you have currently open, and then just choose what you feel comfortable with sharing. But
For sure. I share every day. Like, whatever I share, like in our 9-week control freak group, I post that on my Instagram and my Facebook every day. So sharing's not the problem, I don't think. Like, I get messages every day from, you know, some friends or, you know, doing a great job or whatever. So sharing isn't the biggest problem. It's trusting people that I don't know, I guess.
Yeah. Well, here's the thought on that a lot of the coaches on our team, and you're seeing a very small amount of the coaches, right? Because we only have a couple of us do these events. Otherwise, you'd be here for 7 hours listening to all of our stories. But the majority of us were all strangers at some point in time on Facebook. Like Ray is kind of, we knew each other from growing up, but like Kelly, I didn't know Kelly. Kelly's coach is Laura, and Laura is my coach who I met through a mom group. Ashley and I met via a Facebook mom group. Savanna and I met via Facebook. Most of us were total strangers at some point. And I think it's like, you kind of have to flip your mindset of being like, bad people out there on the world that are trying to get me, and I don't want to let anybody in, to like, oh my gosh, if I start sharing and genuinely connecting with people, I might find the most incredible friendships that I didn't even know I was missing. So I think it's kind of a perspective shift too, on being open to allowing new connections. But you get to decide what those connections are. If there are people that you don't want to connect with, obviously, you don't. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool people out there that you can find on the internet. Your best friends that you didn't know you were missing.
That sounded so country. There's a lot of nice
Thank
people
you.
out there you can find on the internet.
Hey, I've lived in the South for like 13 years now, so I do say y'all.
I'm
All
from
right.
California. I say y'all.
Do you really?
Yeah, all the
That
time.
makes me feel better. I feel much less alone now. See, this is how you make friends. You say things like that. Look at that. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. Ray said you're already a coach to you, Jocelyn, basically. Yeah, it's true. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you think of any other questions that you have that pop into your mind, because sometimes I don't know about you guys, but you think about things and then like tomorrow you're going to be like, wait, I wish I would have asked. Just reach out. You can post in the Meet the Team page, or you can reach out to the coach that added you. And hopefully we'll see your beautiful faces in our team page soon. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.